Hi LRBC, this is the first of a section of our videos about a day of prayer and fasting that we have called as a leadership team for the whole church to be part of on Friday the 18th of September. So this is our first video, just giving you the reasons behind it so that you understand and can be part of it. So the leadership team met on Monday night and we talked and prayed about the plans for the re-emergence of our church as a gathered community at some point in the future. And these are the things that struck us and we want to share them with you. The first is that God is requiring patience of us. We're not very good at that, but that's what he's requiring at the minute. The sort of biblical patience that says, I will wait upon the Lord to be renewed. The sort that's expressed in the 400 years of silence between the end of the Old Testament and the start of the New Testament, where God then sends Jesus and does something new. This is the sort of patience the disciples in the upper room, waiting on the Spirit, had to have. This is a time of waiting. The church isn't done with. There will be a new emergence soon. And in fact, we've continued to be church this whole time, haven't we? We've been separate, but we're still united. We're at a distance, but we've still been empowered by God's Spirit. We've been scattered across the town, but we're still loving each other. Still as individuals, we're sharing Jesus in how we live, in how we wrestle with all of this, and in how we thrive in our life. So the first thing is patience. The second thing that came out of our team meeting was the acknowledgement of the complexity of life during COVID and risk assessing any sort of gathered church. Even the government's announcements in the past 2 days that say now no gatherings over 6 people shows just the shifting world that we're in at the minute and how difficult it is. We don't want to rush into anything that wouldn't be safe and appropriate. But then also God spoke to us about seeking him for the shape and the future of LRBC when we re-emerge. So the words of Micah really resonated with us, that God calls us to act justly, to love mercy and to walk humbly with him. There was a communal sense that maybe prayer needs to become more of our powerhouse. The sense that, as Isaiah has been speaking to us over the years, God is indeed doing a new thing and we need to perceive it. And that's not glib, just always saying God's doing a new thing. That is acknowledging that God is the creator, that he is in essence creative. And so he will be wanting to use this time to speak a fresh move of his Spirit into who we are and how we gather so that we can function well in this strange season. So in light of all of this, as leaders, we are calling the church to a day of prayer and fasting on Friday the 18th of September. We just believe that pausing communally to commit and listen to God's voice for the day will be a powerful thing. God's always speaking, it's just he wants us to hear him. We need to tune in to hear what he's saying. In Matthew 7, Jesus says, keep on asking, keep on seeking, and the door will be opened. And I believe there's something in there about God asking us, how bothered are we? How much do we want to encounter him? How much do we want Lowestoft to encounter him? How much do we want our gathered expression of church to bring our friends and family into his new life? I believe he says to me, if you're bothered, show me that you are. So please join us to pray for as much of the day as you can. We'll be gathering for 5 minutes on Zoom at 9:30 in the morning to launch the day and closing together at 9 o'clock on Zoom for 5 minutes to close the day. So we just invite you to give that day over and keep your eyes posted for our next video that's going to talk a little bit more about what fasting is and how to do it. Do join us on that day. Stick it in the Google Calendar, stick it on the calendar on the wall, stick it in your diary, and let's make that intention together that on that day especially, we want to hear what God has to say for the future of our gathered community.